So they were waiting for Nvidia to provide their earnings report, which came yesterday at the end of the close. And guess what? Welcome, everyone, to another episode of Between Dollars and Dreams. Well, welcome to another podcast of the TF team about weekly news. There's been a lot of stuff that has been happening recently. The market continues to go up. The TSX year to date up 22%. We did see a little correction in the U.S. markets, namely as a result of all of that pent up demand for AI. People saw that maybe is this overblown, so they were waiting for Nvidia to provide their earnings report, which came yesterday at the end of the close. And guess what? Nvidia beat expectations, and then we saw a bump up in the markets today. So supposedly the AI revolution is not overblown. There's still some steam left. So the markets are kind of reflecting this topsy-turvy attitude towards AI and other aspects of our market. So as I mentioned, the TSX is up 22 year to date. The S&P 500 US is up about 13%, 12.6, and the Dow is up almost 10% year to date. So the markets are doing well, especially when we compare. We saw inflation rate in Canada has kind of edged downward to about 2.2. Your GICs are probably earning about two and a half, maybe three if you're lucky. So in order to beat inflation, you might have to take on a little bit of risk, not too much, and maybe to diversify and put some money into the markets might be a good thing. We're November, the biggest shopping day of the year is coming up, Black Friday. What are Canadian and American shoppers saying? We're going to spend less, right? With the tariffs, employment. Yeah, we saw the unemployment rate kind of level off and kind of go down a bit. And we've gained some new jobs, but we're still not 100% sure as to if are we going to have a job or not in the new year. So shoppers believe that, you know what, this year I'm not really 100% about my job situation, so we're going to spend less. So we're seeing this across the board in Canada and the US that shoppers are thinking that they're going to spend a bit more or less than last year. So that could have a ripple effect on the economy because our economy is based on spending. The more we spend, the more our GDP, the gross domestic product, goes up. And if it goes up, then the economy grows. And if the economy grows, it's all positive. So we're we want people to spend, but yes, we do want them to spend within reason. We always talk about having an emergency fund just in case, and maybe this is a good time to have an emergency fund. It's always a good time to have an emergency fund. We saw in the US that the government shutdown with the longest government shutdown in the history of the US, over 80 some days. Think about it. That's about 2.5 months without a paycheck. That emergency fund will come in very handy so that if the government were to shut down again and you didn't have a paycheck for about 2 to 3 months, at least you have um, some money put aside for that rainy day. Other good news, market is up, inflation is down. We're seeing that mortgage delinquencies are going down. So that means uh, people are not losing their homes at a higher rate than they used to last year. We're actually seeing it go down. So that means consumer confidence is a bit up amidst all this uncertainty. So maybe what is that probably showing is that people are spending less in certain sectors, they're definitely not going out to eat, going out to watch movies like Wicked for Good, or my favorite that I just saw over the past weekend, The Running Man, which kind of surprised me. So before we would go out to watch movies, on a monthly basis. Now it's a treat, maybe once a quarter. So that's probably what most Canadians are doing and focusing on their biggest asset, which is their house. So therefore, they're going to curb their spending elsewhere to make sure that they can make their mortgage and property tax payments. So good news, bad news. Um, Gen Zs also plan to spend less during the holidays, and they're going to be shopping with their credit cards. Good thing, bad thing, could be, yes, shopping with your credit card. We advocate with, cash back, travel points that you can earn, but you still want to spend within your limit. So you want to be careful not to overspend, because it's easy, because we've got this higher limit as opposed to using our debit card, which has a finite type of amount. So you still want to be careful. Look out for, in our social media, we will be taking a closer look at travel cards, reward cards, cashback cards, which are, to me, an essential tool. Why not use the money provided by the banks based on your normal spending? We're not asking you to spend any more what you normally spend. Why don't you get rewarded for doing what you normally do? So look out on our Instagram, LinkedIn posts. And if you're a client of mine, you'll probably get an email from me with regards about how to use your travel cards, your rewards cards more efficiently. All good news for this week. Won't talk to, any negative news. So markets are still up. If you have a long-term plan, you're still on the right path. So have your emergency fund in place. Make sure that you have a plan that is long-term, that will benefit from the stock market increasing. So hope you've enjoyed this week's news again. Unfortunately, our good friend is not here, but hopefully I'm a capable replacement. Josh, you know where you are. Enjoy your time, and hopefully we might see you again. So if you did enjoy this session, please like, subscribe, and we'll see you again next week. Enjoy.